The second season of The Mandalorian just started, and after losing some of our favorite characters at the end of Season 1, we are all curious to see what Season 2 got in store for us, both regarding storylines and new characters. Hi there, it's Micha. Let's look what the first episode of Season 2 had to offer. I always was a Star Wars fan, since I saw the first movie on the big screen in its original run back in 1978, when I was 5 or 6 years old. As with most of my generation, it had a massive impact on me, to this day. Having just watched episode 9, The Marshal, I would like to share my thoughts with you. However, I'm not a super fan who knows all the background information and implications based on novels and other publications. Therefore, I got help from my good friend Neal, who will provide me with additional insights I can then share with you. Stuff I would have never noticed myself. But enough about me, let's jump headfirst in. Last time we saw the Mandalorian, he and Baby Yoda, or as he is officially referred to, the child, left planet Navarro to reunite the kid with its kind, wherever that may be. This is the Mandalorian's mission.
This is the way.
Protecting the child already claimed the lives of most fellow Mandalorians, as well as both Creel's and IG-11's life, though in case of the latter, being a droid, existence would be more accurate, but you know what I mean, especially if you care. 2 of our favorite characters gone, while the main villain, Moff Gideon, survived the crash of his TIE fighter and will probably not be giving up his pursuit anytime soon. So when we meet the Mandalorian, who we now know to be named Din Djarin, and his protege again, they are looking to find more Mandalorians to help in their quest. And informant Gor Goresh is supposed to know the location of another Mandalorian. Unfortunately, for the informant, he and his gang try to double-cross Mando instead.
This is no place for a child.
Which ends deadly for the bunch. But not before they extract the information about the other Mandalorian's location, which turned out to be Tatooine. Back on Tatooine, Pelimoto, who again proves to be a valuable acquaintance, points them into the right direction, an almost abandoned settlement called Mos Pelgo, where they find the town's marshal to be wearing a Beskar armor. However, the peacekeeper turns out to be just a human named Cobb Vanth. So, as the Mandalorian's creed demands, Din is asking very firmly for the Beskar suit to be returned into his tribe's possession. As the town is plagued by attacks of a giant sandworm-like behemoth, they strike the deal to get rid of the beast together, in exchange for the armor. On their journey to the monster's dwelling, they run into a tribe of Tusken Sand people, who also want the creature they know to be a great dragon dead. As the settlers and the Tusken Raiders have a history of bloody encounters, overcoming their dislike for each other is quite a challenge. But as both groups work together, it builds ties. And at the end of the episode, the settlers got rid of their plague, the raiders harvested the dragon's carcass for food and wealth, and both parties laid the foundation for a peaceful coexistence. While this adventure didn't further Din and the child's agenda, as they hadn't found another Mandalorian, they retrieve a valuable armor and made a possible future ally. When they leave the planet, we are shown a figure watching them from afar. A figure that turns to us, revealing to be an armorless Boba Fett. Whoa. The second season is off to a strong start. We are back on Tatooine, which returns the original Italo-Western feeling we were treated to in the beginning of the first season. But this is not a tribute or just recycling locations, because we are brought into regions we have not seen in Season 1 or any previous movie for this matter, and are presented with a settling we have not even heard of before. The show also introduces a simpatico new character in Cobb Vanth, played by Timothy Olyphant, who has some experience as a peacekeeper from his tenure as sheriff in Deadwood. Following his character's journey, we learn to look at things from different sides, not always seeing just black or white. In one of my favorite scenes, we encounter a pack of beasts that encircle our heroes. A fight seems inevitable, but Mando has additional insights, being familiar with the animals as domesticated companions of the Sand People. Using Tusken language, he can engage the pack without a problem, because not everything that looks evil turns out to be that way. It is all a matter of perspective. And this theme is seen throughout the episode because yes, the Tusken Sand People are wild and brutal. They are raiders, but they are also the natives on this planet, with the settlers being the intruders. And when they first met, there was immediate violence, because apparently no one really tried to communicate with the other party first. The same is applied to the Jawas, who were always presented as kinda dubious creatures, stealing technology from society like a plague befalling dying organisms. Personally, I saw them always more akin to ants, cleaning the world of dead and thrown away technology, scavengers collecting objects and reusing them, making a living out of it. Sure, sometimes they are overeager and start the assembly process before knowing if someone is still inside of a vehicle, and they may be unaware of valid claims, but they are not bad. And in a flashback, this episode establishes exactly that sentiment by showing a parched Cobb Vanth wandering the desert, being found by Jawas who take him in and give him water without asking for anything in return. And as he had something valuable in his possession that they want to acquire, they offer to trade with him, never trying to kill him or just steal the stuff. I really appreciate those perception-changing moments. I also like the callback to IG-11's death and how this changed Din's perspective of droids, as he isn't opposed to Peli's droids tending to his spacecraft anymore, showing the Mandalorian is still very much flexible regarding his own perspective. While Season 1 already did some digging into the grey areas of existence, Season 2 seems to double down on it, which I welcome. And actually, this topic is not new to the franchise, with our favorite smuggler, Han Solo, being surfing the grey area from the very beginning. This episode also reminds us that though Din is a hero and a man of his word, he is as hard as they come, and navigating these grey areas, which is shown in the opening, where he keeps both his promises to the informant, which is that he will not let Gore stay alive if he tries to betray them, while promising after the betrayal that he will not die by his hand if he shares the needed information. With the information gathered, though, Din has no problem leaving Gore hanging on a lamppost to be eaten alive by roaming predators, hence not dying by his hands. Sometimes semantics can be deadly.
I would like to see the baby.
The show also leans more into harvesting Baby Yoda's cuteness, showing more of his ears flopping while speeding over the desert sand, laughing with his big eyes full of wonder. But who could ever blame them for doing so, or complain about it?
Stop touching things.
If you have an asset like that, you got to use it. One last call out. While Season 1 felt more like being conceived as a movie, which then was divided into movie chapters with some non-essential episodes inserted to raise the episode count, something I still believe to be a likely scenario, the first episode of Season 2 feels more like a serious chapter. If this is a good or bad thing, or something somewhere in the grey area in between, remains to be seen. In any case, we have one engaging but close story that feels like a short standalone movie, that will hopefully feed into a nice overarching storyline that will be clearly visible at the end of a season. If that turns out to be true and none of the episodes feel like a filler, this season can be as great or even better than the first season. We will have to wait and see. I really enjoyed this episode, so not to start out stingy, I'm rating it with 8.5 out of 10 points. Let's have a look at Neal's callouts. He likes the length of the episode and the quality of the effects, which are on par with the movies. He also valued the insights into the Sand People's perspective and the teasing appearance of Boba Fett, proving he survived the Scarlet Pit in Return of the Jedi. He was missing the setup of a larger overarching storyline, saying the episode felt like a side adventure. He also felt Baby Yoda was not giving enough screen time. Interesting. Neal scored the episode with 8 points, so between the two of us, this adds up to a score of 8.5 out of 10, as I mathematically had to round it up. Nice. Here are some well-executed Easter eggs that Neal discovered throughout the episode. R2-5. The R5 or R2-5 droid we see in Pelimoto's possession is the exact same one that the Javas tried to sell to Luke and his uncle in A New Hope, remember? The one with the bad motivator that blew a circuit before the purchase was complete. You can still see the residue from it if you look closely. Instead of R5, Luke and his uncle bought R2-D2 and a whole world of trouble. Can you imagine? The Tusken Raiders. The Tusken Raiders also made their first appearance in A New Hope, when they attacked Luke before being scared off by Ben Kenobi. They also appeared in The Phantom Menace, where they attempted to shoot the pod racers for some loot. Also, they are responsible for the death of Anakin's, aka Vader's, mother in Attack of the Clones. After being villainized for so long, it was great to see them from a more human perspective, not just as killers or raiders. The Krayt Dragon and the Pearl. The Krayt Dragon also made its first appearance in, surprise surprise, A New Hope. Where exactly will be this week's quiz question for you. The Dragon's Pearl, that the Sand People discovered in the beast's carcass, was also referenced in some Star Wars video games and books. The pearls are very valuable and usually much smaller, so the Sand People will be quite happy with this one. Cobb Vanth. He was previously referenced in the Star Wars Aftermath book trilogy as a Marshal who had purchased Mandalorian armor from the Javas. Although the books never clearly confirmed that the armor was Boba Fett's, the writers heavily hinted that this was indeed the case. Graffiti. The graffiti in the opening scene looks like the artwork of Sabine Wren, a female human Mandalorian from the Rebels animated series. Though she might not have created the graffiti herself, this may be some subtle foreshadowing of her appearance in the show. It was Sabine who found the dark saber in the Rebels TV show and gave it to Lady Bo-Katan Kryze, who was the last person known to hold the saber prior to Moff Gideon wielding it at the end of Season 1. She was supposed to use the saber to lead the Mandalorians against the Empire, so we will see what happened since then. By the way, Bo-Katan is heavily rumored to make an appearance in Season 2 as well. So much for this week's Easter eggs. How did you like the episode? Is the season on the right track? And here a quick quiz question for you. In which scene in A New Hope did we see a Krayt Dragon for the first time? In any form? Let us know your answer in the comments. The question will be answered in the next video. That's it for this week. I know we are a bit behind right now, but we will hopefully be catching up soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with friends that might like it as well. And why not subscribe to my channel, so you don't miss any future videos. So much for now, see you next time and thanks for watching!